Robert Hare's Without Conscience, and then there is a new book out, Robert Hare and Paul Babiak, which is, oh God, what's the title of the book? It's the one about the corporate psychopath, Snakes in Suits. So Snakes in Suits, Without Conscience, and The Sociopath Next Door. And then once you have read those three, then you must get and read Political Ponerology, The Science of Evil, Adjusted for Political Purposes by Andrew Lobachevsky. And I wrote the introduction to this book. And I also edited the book. And it is probably one of the most important books you'll ever read because it describes exactly what kind of psychopath plays what kind of role in the political arena, how they interface with other types of psychopaths, characteropaths, paranoid types, and it describes how the normal population is psychopathologized so that they follow the psychopath, and what percentages of the population are likely to be taken in by psychopaths, and what kinds of problems those normal people might have that make them susceptible to psychopaths. It gives you chapter and verse, symptoms, signs, everything, and tells you how the whole network fits together, how they rise to power, how they, manifest their power, and where it ultimately ends up. So those are the books that you should read, and everybody should read them.
Anything else, Jim? Oh, he's off the air. Okay. All right. Very good. Let's go to Judy in New York. Judy, you're on with Michael and Laura.
Hi, this is a great and important show.
Oh, no, not you.
I can't believe,
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Laura. I can't believe even the Antichrist is listening.
There are several of them,
Oh, my God.
Some people might think I am. You've discussed psychopaths who have gotten into positions of power in the world. I guess that's a really fertile breeding ground for them. But I was wondering how you felt about the psychopaths who have infiltrated both the mainstream media and the alternative media.
Well, that's a really loaded question because it's the same symptomology that I saw in the so-called UFO research field. Whenever there is a void or an absence of authoritative answers to a pressing question that is, out there in the public's mind, this is a perfect platform, venue for psychopaths who seek power because, let's face it, you've got a power void, you have an information void. There are psychopaths there in lower levels in life, who think that, hey, this place is for me. I can become an expert. I can become a researcher. I can become whatever, or at least I can present myself as one, and I can begin to put my theories over. I can get a following. I can get groupies. I can make money. I can go on the talk show circuit. I can, I can write articles. I can, give my opinions. I can become an expert. And that's what psychopathy is all about. Becoming one of the favorite fields for psychopaths is psychology.
That's really disturbing. Putting your psyche in the hands of a nut.
So yeah, there's an information void. There is an authority void. There is no authoritative, voice of with real answers, with real research. So it sucks in the psychopaths like crazy.
Ladies, I want to tell the audience that Judy is, thank you, Judy. Judy is the one that referred me over to Laura, and these girls are friends. So what I'm going to do, if you don't mind, Judy, I'm going to hold you on the line. But I want to pull another friend of mine up, Michael from New York, that has given me all kinds of good information, and I want to see what he has to say, if you don't mind, okay? And, Judy, you stay there, all right? Hello?
Hi, Michael. Hi, Lori. Thanks for taking my call, Michael, and thanks for that. That's nice, but I'm just glad to share all that important information with somebody like yourself because you can keep sharing it from your position, which is, I'm sure, pretty connected in a nice network. Now, it's amazing that these people like the Clintons, when you hear them talk about, especially Hillary, it's for the children. When you hear that line, and how these Americans don't realize the facade and the facetiousness in which she is presenting that information, they're like vultures. when they're thinking of children, they're thinking of something they're going to eat. They don't care for these kids. You know, these Americans better wake up. And you know, all this, the profile that you're presenting is perfect because this is what communists are all about. They're all perverted. They're all mentally unbalanced. And they have, they're evil. I mean, I think the bottom line is they lack a soul. And that's why they have an evil bent. And you know, I just can't believe how Americans aren't catching on to this yet. In general, I know we are, but
there's a very small percentage of us that are. Would you say so, Laura? I mean, obviously the overwhelming majority of people aren't catching on. They're waking up, but it's slow.
There are actually some numbers. Like I said, there's like up to 5 or 6% of the actual deviants, and then there's another 12% that are related issues that are not necessarily genetic deviants, but they are people who have been pathologized by life or experiences. They become essentially very much like genetic deviants. So there you've got 6 plus 12, you've got 18%. And then you've probably got another, 10 to 12% that are people that are just, weak-willed, just looking for somebody to follow, and the person they want to follow is the one who sounds the most sure of themselves. And remember, psychopaths always sound very sure of themselves. So you're eating up your percentages there in the numbers of people who are, either pathological or manipulated by them. So then you have the other, say, 70%, 60% of the population, and at the other end of it, you probably have 6% who are awake,
right?
And then you have another 12% coming up from the other direction who are potentially awake and somewhat aware and able to be supportive of the 6% that are awake, and then another percentage that is semi-kind of awake, and then you have, the people in the middle that can go either way.
Yeah, that's an accurate assessment, Lori. That really is. Another field that they gravitate towards, besides the psychotherapy type of field, is politics. They gravitate towards politics.
They gravitate towards politics for the power.
Yeah.
That's right. Exactly right.
Okay, well, listen, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Hey,
nice
thanks a lot, man. I really do. I appreciate your input. You're a big help to me, Michael. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless now.
All right.
Just remember, ideologies do not need psychopaths. Psychopaths need ideologies. So don't fall into the trap of saying, communist or socialist or capitalist or Democrats or Republicans, because every single one of them has been infiltrated by psychopaths, and the inner core of all of these ideologies are run by deviants.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies, let's go to another well-known individual. Judy, are you with me? Judy's not there? Is Judy there? I don't hear Judy.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
You hear me?
Okay, let's go to another well-known individual. Let's go to Don in Ohio. Don, you're on with Michael.
Hello, Michael. Hello, ladies.
Laura, let me introduce you to Don Nikoloff. Don, this is Laura Knight-Jadczyk.
Hi, Don.
Hi, how do you do, Laura?
And I read your piece yesterday.
What did you think of it? What's your perception? I'm interested.
Well, this was, I started out thinking, wait a minute, this is just too wild. This is just too wild. And then the more I'm reading, because, I'm looking at the documentation, and I'll tell you a little secret. Genealogy is one of my hobbies. And this is something that has really bothered me, the lack of genealogical records and data. And, I have CDs with data on them from before 2000, before Bush became president. And, I went back and plugged these CDs in, and there is no information. And I just can't understand how it is that somebody can get to be president of the United States and his genealogy is not well known to every person in the country. And, so the more I was reading that, the more I'm saying, boy, that, there are some real lack of information about these people, and this deserves some serious thinking and attention, definitely.
Well, if I may comment on, I didn't use the word pathology, I don't think once in the 16,000 some words that are in the article. my intention was to grab the attention of the American people and probably the world so they could see what has been going on, because they formed the EU under the same auspices that they did the Federal Reserve. They've used the technology against the people of the world. They've created wars for their own enrichment, and it describes specifically the type of behavior that you're describing.
It's a different species.
Yes, absolutely.
And they are after the survival of their kind.
At the expense of our kind, Laura?
At the expense of our kind.
Does that tie in with Agenda 21 in the UN? Alleviating 90% of the population?
Yep.
And so we would let's throw a word out here. Let's characterize